2020 at 5 p.m. to order. Roll call starting on my left.
Evenson here.
Minter here.
Jumadi here.
Gabriel here.
And Jack.
Call here.
Perfect.
Call here.
Thank you. I'll remember to start with you next time, Jackie. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. I'll come in at the end like we did last time.
Okay. All right, certify the posting of the meeting, please.
I certify that on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025, the agenda for the Town of Rome Board meeting for Thursday, February 20th, 2025 was posted at the Rome Town Hall at 3:47 p.m. Quick Trip LLC, 3:53 p.m. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, 4 p.m. and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 3:17 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion by Supervisor Evenson, second by Supervisor Gabriel to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Discussion.
She's a question.
Oh, that's right, that one item you wanted to pull that, Jackie?
Yes, I would like to remove item 713, which is the discussion and possible action about the creation of a task force for wayfinding.
Okay,
I was going to leave that effort because since I'm no longer going to serve on the town board, I think it's best to pass that on to someone else. So I'd like to remove it or table it, and I'm happy to share the work I've done to date of creating a task force approach document with our town administrator.
okay. All right, so do you want to amend that with pulling item number 13? Cheryl?
Sure, I'll make the amendment to pull 13 off the agenda.
I'll still second that.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. All right, so we have a motion by Supervisor Evenson with an amendment to remove item 13 and pass it forward. Second by Supervisor Gabriel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 6, citizen comments. Did we receive any orange cards? Okay, thank you. 6A, the board will also take comment from the public on agenda items as called by the chair, but not during citizen comment. Please note that once the board begins discussion on an agenda item, no further comment will be allowed from the public on that issue. No action contemplated except possible referral to a future agenda item. I'll start on my left.
I have nothing today.
For the informational updates, meeting recaps, recent correspondent, current events or announcements? Nothing? Okay. Supervisor
So
Minter?
There's several things going on at the Lester Library here in February and into March. First, every Friday, they have Friends, Coffee with Friends, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning by the fireplace. On Tuesday, March 4th at 6 p.m. till 7:30 p.m., the second annual Fat Tuesday Chocolate Celebration will be hosted by the Friends of the Library. And on Thursday, March 6th, all day long, Oreo tasting in celebration of National Oreo Day.
Fun.
All right, thank you. Now you made us all hungry. All right, so I have a few here. Representative Scott Krug will be here tomorrow, Friday the 21st, in the Rome Town Hall for a listening session from 2 to 3 p.m. And you might also want to note that Senator Teston and Representative Krug will be at the McMillan Library tomorrow at noon if you'd like to see and talk to both of them at that town hall. This is close by. I know a lot of people in our community go to Sacred Heart in Nakusa. And believe it or not, the fish fries are starting already on March 7th through April 11th, and it's a fundraiser for the Port Edwards Knights of Columbus. Drive-through fish fry is available from 3 to 6 at the church. And they've got beer batter cod, potato salad, coleslaw, dinner roll, and dessert for $13. So you want to keep them in mind if you want to donate to that fundraiser. And then also, this is something close by if you need to get out for a fun, entertaining evening. Some of the children are involved in this up in the Rapids. It's a Wisconsin Rapids Children's Theater presenting The Little Mermaid, and that'll be at the PAC, which is at Lincoln High School. Admission is $10 for adults, $5 for children, and all seating is general admission. You can call the PAC to get tickets, and it's on March 14th at 7, March 15th at 7, and March 16th at 2 in the afternoon. Do you have anything?
Nothing further to add?
Okay. Then we'll move. Nothing, Jackie? Okay, thank you.
No,
All right. Number 8, department and committee reports. Any questions, comments for staff or our management team here regarding their reports? Housing starts are a little bit slower now, aren't they, Lexi, than they've been in recent years? The first part of the year, it was kind of a surprising number, I thought, but they're down. I mean, they're pulling permits, but not as many as we've seen in the past. So that's just an interesting fact to present. All right. Then we'll move on. Discussion and possible action on the following items. Number 9, discussion and possible action on the approval of the January 16th, 2025, February 6th, 2025, and February 14th, 2025 meeting minutes. And did you have anything you wanted to point out? There was a question last time. Were you able to?
We corrected it.
All
It's been
right.
corrected. It's,
Just wanted to double check
you.
that
Appreciate
it
it.
is the way now that
Yeah.
it was, okay, perfect. I do have one myself. I have one myself, and then you can go if you're.
We're discussing the minutes from all 3 of those days, correct, right now?
Right,
Okay.
but she made the correction that you required, or you asked about. She went back and reviewed it, but mine is for the 16th of January, which is on the very last page. You call me a chairman. Oh, sorry. No problem. We'll let it slip. All right, if you could just fix that. But any more discussion?
Yes. With that correction that I mentioned at the last meeting, on the new minutes, we have 2 motions that carried
There
the,
were 2 motions.
We watched it 4 times. There were 2 motions.
There
But
were
the-
2 motions.
I would agree with you, there was 2 motions, but the first motion failed, I believe. That's what the last minute said.
I know, and that we're wrong. We watched it.
Well, how,
Three of us watched it.
but how can we
Make
have
sure.
2 motions on the same item, and they both passed?
You would have to ask the attorney that.
Nick walked us through it because at one point it got so confusing that we needed to clear one item off the table before we could proceed to the second item. So that's why there are 2 motions with 2 votes.
Yeah.
That's
I
why there
remember
was
that now.
so much confusion
Yeah.
on the minutes.
yeah,
in the
that
first
was a
place.
very confusing situation there.
Yeah.
Because things were added that were outside of the actual motion.
I would have swore I heard that first motion failed.
Okay.
We went back and watched the whole thing from start to finish, that whole section.
And I even
Yeah,
asked
2
for
of us went and
clarification. I
watched it.
even asked for clarification from the attorney, and he walked us through it so we could get one item off the table and bring up the second.
It was very confusing.
Any more? Anybody else?
We need a motion.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve. They're on YouTube, so I
will
encourage you to go
move
out.
to approve the Thursday, January 16th, 2025 minutes, the Thursday, February 6th, 2025 minutes, and the Friday, February 14th, 2025 minutes.
Okay,
I'll second.
we have a motion by Supervisor Evenson, second by Supervisor Minter to approve the January 16th, 2025, February 6th, 2025, and February 14th, 2025 meeting minutes. Any more discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion and possible action. Checks, vouchers, receipts, and journal entries. Approved checks number 47092, 47244, totaling $5,125,580.40. Auto payments totaling $125,690.78. State Social Security Medicare withholdings totaling $40,719.99. Payroll vouchers V 23206 through V 23324 totaling $106,419.24. Receipts 26185 through 26260 and 26290, totaling $8,736,219. Wait a minute, let me try that again. That's a big one. $8,736,219.39.
I'll make a motion to approve checks, vouchers, and receipts and journal entries.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Gabriel, second by Supervisor Evenson, to approve the checks, vouchers, receipts, and journal entries as presented. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Jackie, are you in favor?
Oh, yeah, she said aye. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Jackie. It's really,
No, that's all right. I was having trouble here. Everything went dark. for me.
no, and I keep forgetting you're on there instead of over here, so it's, like I said last time, there was 200 of you up there, we'd really have a problem. Okay. Discussion, not just you, but I mean people. Discussion and possible action, approval of agreement for general town legal services with Vanderwall Law SC. Jason, did you want to speak to this at all?
This is the proposed contract after the meeting that we had. Looks pretty standard to me. I'd recommend approval.
And just for clarification, we had already agreed to accept them as our new legal representative for general municipal law. So this is just a contract now confirming everything that was presented, that we had that meeting on February 14th.
I'll move to approve the agreement for general town legal services with Vanderwall Law SC.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Cole, second by Supervisor Evenson, for the approval of the agreement for general town legal services with Vanderwall Law SC. Discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
I remembered you this. Motion carry.
That's okay. She's good.
I should wait before
You should wait for her to say aye.
say aye before I say opposed. Sorry. We'll get there by the end of the meeting. Discussion and possible action, legal representation and fee agreement for municipal prosecutions. Jason, did you want to speak on this one, please?
There's two of them in the packet here, if I can stop coughing. One is a flat rate with Vanderwall, the other is the local firm out of Wisconsin Rapids, AGV, for an hourly rate. My only concern with the flat rate would be the potential to try to stipulate to all of the cases, because you're getting paid the same whether you come to a trial or just plea everything out. Price-wise, they're gonna be probably pretty close, based on the one firm is out of Rapids, and
And the flat rate included the mileage? No?
the mileage is separate on the flat rate. The flat rate includes all of the hourly time. It doesn't include copies, mileage, or other items. Again, these aren't long-term contracts. Either way, you could try the flat rate, and if you don't like it, give notice and switch to another one. My only concern would be that stuff that should have a trial might be plea bargained
How often is municipal court in this town? Once a month?
once a month.
How many hours does it usually last?
About an hour, just under an hour, I think Linda
Oh.
had.
Okay, that answers my question.
Yeah, just under an hour, I think Linda said it the most, maybe. But I mean, there might be something unusual if everybody starts breaking the laws, but.
Doing the math, flat rate at 1,400, hourly rate at 275, that's like 6 hours-ish, 5.5, 6 hours of time if court lasts about an hour a month.
The other time to explain to the board is pre-trials, so
Okay,
every time somebody pleads not guilty, the town attorney
Ah, got it.
has a pretrial with them, and it's either settled by a stipulation, the person changing their plea to guilty, or a court trial being set.
Be probably at least 5 hours of time total if you took all the pretrial
Likely.
stuff on there.
I'm kind of resting on what he's saying though too about, pleading things out and not getting things, and there's things that have to be done, pressing issues like with, dead brush or tickets for boating or traffic or other issues. Those are things to be taken into consideration, I guess.
And like you said,
Was there any effort to talk to Attorney X, if that's how you say it, to see if he would accept $250 an hour, which coincides more with the rate for the other Vanderwall attorney?
No.
Okay.
That's their standard flat rate then for municipal law?
Correct.
Okay. Or prosecution services? That seemed pretty in line too with what the other ones were charging, so, but,
Okay.
the ones that we talked about last Friday. But, so you're recommending probably we go with apps on the hourly rate basis?
Like I said, they're not long-term. My only concern with the flat rate, financial-wise, based on the hours that Nick spent doing it, the Vanderwall is gonna be less money. Keep in mind, the court hasn't had many trials. When Attorney Flanagan was here, most of the cases were stipulated or resolved out of court, so it'd be kind of status quo. But when it comes to dead brush and stuff, I don't know that we can expect the new firm to do as much work as what Nick did with the dead brush, constantly reviewing cases month after month after month. Certainly, we can't if it's hourly. They're gonna have to either have a trial, they're gonna have to dispose of the ticket. We can't pay somebody that kind of money to go back and forth with the defendant, showing pictures every month for 6 months to show their project on, their cleanup progress on a dead brush violation.
Seems like things would,
That's kind of what happened with the whole dead brush enforcement before. Those lasted sometimes month after month with Nick getting pictures of improvement and making a decision either to extend it or.
well, I know there was frustration too, because I had a neighbor call, and just say that it was like taking so long, and when I called to find out about it, it was like 18 months later finally that something was, so that stuff takes time and that can,
Those were the largest not guilty pleas we have, is ordinance, stuff like that, dead brush, and boating tickets seem to be the ticket that everybody says, I'm gonna plead not guilty and come to court. Most of the traffic ones pay their fine and move on, but the dead brush specifically were a lot of the attorney hours and years past dealing with those tickets.
But those will continue though, too, so,
Likely.
yeah.
All right, what's your pleasure? Based on the administrator's recommendation, somebody want to make a motion?
To me, they're pretty equal. I mean, there's advantages to having one that's local.
That's the biggest plus I see as
There's
someone
advantages to
local.
having a flat rate that you know what to expect budget-wise. It's been a long, long time since we've had a case appealed to the circuit court where additional fees would kick in.
I just think having the access of someone closer to for something like municipal court and what could come up or what would have to be dealt with is,
So for the AGV, they will only do 1,400, they'll only do a flat fee, right?
AVG is hourly, totally
Hourly.
total hourly, and they would not charge us travel, so the time they're here dealing with it or the time they spend on the phone dealing with
They had these,
pretrials.
must have had these two mixed up as to which ones were which.
so
Okay.
that's the plus there with the $275 an hour is that you're not paying for mileage.
Right,
And the other one wouldn't charge us the travel time from Wausau down, but they would charge us the IRS mileage rate for every trip they make down.
So if they can't do it by virtual and they have to travel,
Correct, they'll charge us. the
they'll charge us
IRS
the IRS rate.
Okay.
So that adds up.
right. So, well, I'll make a motion that we accept AGV as our municipal court.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Supervisor Evenson, a second by Supervisor Gabriel for the legal representation and fee agreement for municipal prosecutions by AGV Apps, Grafowski and Vruwink lawyers in Wisconsin Rapids. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Oh, Jackie, I'm so sorry.
You heard me, I said aye, I'm good.
Maybe-
Just remember to say nay if you vote no.
Just yell. You go first, how about that? All right. And number 13 is tabled until we find someone to pay it forward to. Discussion and possible action, approval of resolution number 25 blank, resolution approving the Town of Rome Comprehensive Outdoor Rec Plan, the CORP, from the Parks and Rec Committee. Dan, I'll give you an opportunity first, since this is from Parks and Rec, if there's anything you want to say, and then we can just,
No, we've been looking at this for several months, over several draft versions, and again, we thank all the public input that went into creating the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan. We did review it at the last Parks and Rec meeting this past Monday. However, it has been pointed out to me that there are several typos and one picture in there that we would like to have replaced. So that being said, my motion would be that we send this back to the consultant, requesting that he run a full spell check and replace the picture of the Wisconsin Corp with the new Wisconsin Corp picture before we adopt it in final form here at the board. So that would be my motion.
I'll second that.
okay, so we have a motion by Supervisor Minter to, well, you got it all right, adopt the CORP, based on the fact that this will go back to Jeff Sanders at Community Consulting for a full spell check and replacement of the state outdoor comprehensive rec plan, as their new one was adopted just this past January. So that should be updated, so, and if he could just check the other pictures too. So, all right. All in favor? Jackie?
Aye.
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 That was almost worse.
I know. It's so awkward. Okay. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 15. Discussion and possible action. Recommendation from the Plan Commission regarding consideration of an amendment to the site plan of operation requested by Stuffit Storage LLC to update their site plan from the previous owner's plan on the property located at State Highway 13, described as Lot 2 of the CSM 2313, located in part of the section quarter, or southeast quarter, northeast quarter, section 17, town 20 north, range 06 east, town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-00790-0000. And I think we'll let Lexi go with the report that she needs to give us, and then you do have some handouts on your desk that were more recent, and here's a bigger picture if you don't have a magnifying glass. if
That's
anybody-
not for this project.
Oh, that's for the next one, okay.
Yep,
Thank
okay.
you.
So applicant Stuffit Storage LLC requests approval for the revision to their site plan of operation for the property located on State Highway 13. The applicant had received initial approvals for the site plan on November 8th, 2022 and November 14th, 2023 from Plan Commission. The applicant is amending the site plan of operation to completely redo the building design and operation plans from the previous property owner. And then for reference, the last approved site plan of operation from November 2023 is included in your packet. A copy of the conditions associated with the approval are also included in your packet. And this item had a public hearing during the January 14th Plan Commission meeting, where it had been postponed to the February 11th, 2025 Plan Commission meeting, so corrections could be made and clear materials could be submitted for the site plan. And then I had given you guys some additional documents here. This is just some easement documents that correlates with the findings of fact condition number 3.
And maybe you could just remind them that the easement is with the current owner of the other building, that they'll be sharing that driveway.
Yes.
So that was something that the Plan Commission had wanted Shane to come back with and make sure that there was definitely an agreement there with your easement on your driveway. There's also some finding of facts, if we want to review them, that came from Plan Commission. If stated that no outdoor storage. The newest rendition of the site plans must be used for landscaping plan dated 1/26/2025, submitted to Lexi, our zoning administrator, on February 5th, 2025. The driveway easement, which she just addressed, sharing must be sorted out with the neighbor parcel, and any update status should be sent to the town prior to the town board approval. And then there would be one more question, perhaps, I don't know if we want to discuss it now and then take a motion, but with it being the Gateway overlay in B1 district RTC, there's some paving requirements that's up to the new owner. If maybe you could explain that to the board, please.
Yes, within, well, because it's within the Gateway Overlay District, it has to follow the standards of Commercial A. So that would require that the entire driveway and parking spots would be paved in a dust-free manner.
And that was discussed, not this last plan commission meeting, but the meeting before, but it wasn't made part of the findings of fact.
Yep.
So we just want to emphasize that that should be part of our findings of fact, that that's going to be paved, correct?
If you so choose to do that, you can add
Okay.
that.
All right, so, any other questions or comments?
I do have a question. Isn't it, you said parking, you said the entire parking lot, or what did you say there, Lexi?
So all of it would have to, all driveways and parking needs to be paved.
Parking surface, all parking areas and driveways shall be hard surface paved, dust-free, and properly marked. When curbs are desired, they shall be concrete, which he doesn't need any curbs in there, but it's no different than the retail building right across the street here.
I move to accept the revised site plan of operation for Stuffit Storage LLC with the addition of, to the finding of facts of the paving of the driveway and parking lot per the requirements of Commercial A Gateway Overlay District.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Supervisor Minter, a second by Supervisor Gabriel to approve the site plan of operation as recommended by the Plan Commission for Stuffit Storage with the addition of the requirement for the Gateway Overlay B1 RTC parking. That all parking surfaces should be hard surface paved, dust-free, and properly marked. Okay, any more discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I got it this time. Opposed? Motion carries. Oh, I missed something on there, Lexi, that we were gonna bring up too, just to clarify with the drawing
Oh,
from the Plan Commission meeting. Folks, we just need to clarify this with Shane. On your drawing, you had that buffer that we had talked about on the south side, and the residential area is on the north side. So it's on your drawing, but it should be on the north side, not the south side, because that's where the residential area and that, okay, in the back.
Okay.
I know you're very, so if you'll just accept that as a friendly amendment, and we'll just move on. All right, thank you very much. Because it was on your drawing, it's just that your drawing was,
Okay,
thanks.
can I speak or no? Can I talk for a second or no?
I guess you could, yeah.
Oh, I just,
I mean, we made the motion already to accept your
Okay.
plan.
I just,
Why don't you come up here?
Well, it's not, sorry. I just, on the one, I just brought a lease agreement in that I wanted to leave with you guys, that just, one of the stipulations was the no parking and stuff, so I just wanted to leave a copy of my lease agreement, for my stuff at storage, so if you wanted to, you can go over it at any time or whatever, if you had any questions on it or anything that, you may want to see added, but it talks about, like, no parking, you can't be parking outside your storage unit unless you're just there to get something in and out, but you can't leave trailers, things like that, so I just
awesome.
wanted to bring that in
Great.
so you guys could review that, and if there was something that maybe that is missed or something that you guys would want that we could add specifically for, this facility or whatever, we can do that, so.
That's very good of you. Thank you. Why don't we have you give that to Lexi? And
Okay.
if there's anything that stands out with her, I mean, that's great. She can add it to your property file. And if anything stands out that she feels is of concern,
Okay.
she can talk to you and bring it back, but that won't hold up your approval.
And it, okay, and my wife, it's marked on here, I don't know, she put it on there so you know where it talks about the parking in the lease, but it's 6, 7, 8 pages long, so.
So if they won't be parking, that means you're not gonna pave it, right?
Yeah,
No, he's gonna pave it, but they just can't park there like they're hanging out. Or
Yeah,
making
like-
a transaction
yeah.
of the undesirable kind.
there's storage facilities out there where, they might have designated areas where people can like park campers and then it's all visible. Anything that's parked here has to be in a unit where a door is shut, so you're only looking at buildings. There's nothing outside of the buildings.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that goes beyond the outdoor storage, like nobody could park a camper back there, but he
Correct.
also is not
Yep.
gonna allow them, because he is open 24/7 access with no staff, but
Correct.
nobody can just hang out there unless they're getting their stuff.
Stuff
and
it out,
leaving.
yep. So I just wanted to leave
Okay.
that, that's all I wanted to.
Thank you.
say.
We appreciate that. And like I said, if Lex finds anything that's, she can get in touch with you and bring it forward, but I think we're good, Lexi. All right. Thank you very much,
You guys have a
Shane.
good night.
Yep, you too. All right. Okay, moving on. Number 16, discussion and possible action. Approval of the Wisconsin DOT Memorandum of Agreement for the proposed multi-use path system along South Highway 13 Link the Lakes project. Jason, or did you want to address things now, and then we'll, if there's any questions or comments before they come up? We're kind of taking them in order. Did you? Oh, all right, Cody's going to take it? All right.
Getting more comfortable at that podium, huh, Cody?
Go for it. You're on camera.
I'm on camera.
Just the back of your head.
So I'm sorry. Can you ask the question again?
Sure, this isn't an interrogation, so just.
I can just give you a background on it.
Yeah,
This
please
is
do.
the agreement that the DOT would require for this Link the Lakes project. We did have some questions that Cody can go over that we got answers for. Today, there was a few points that stuck out in here, lighting and inspections, and Cody has the answers to that, but the staff is comfortable with the agreement based on the answers we got today.
Okay, so now you want to, the original comment was it has to do with the DOT Memorandum of Agreement. So if you want to touch on those things that were of concern or
So,
what's been cleared up?
One of the questions that had come up was the maintenance of it, and the town would be responsible for the maintaining the property, the snow plowing and whatnot. As far as the maintenance on inspections, the tunnel is done every year. Let me look at my notes real quick.
Now the inspections would be done by whom?
Town
Us?
has to inspect it every year. We have to hire a
A
bridge
professional.
expert once every
Yes.
4 years to do a thorough structural inspection of it, and the DOT would require us to do maintenance such as crack filling and stuff once a year inspection for that. They require us to remove any graffiti that would be painted on it within so many days, which it's kind of spelled out in
Correct.
that agreement.
Okay,
And the town would be responsible for maintaining the
And-
grass and removing the graffiti
Right,
and
that
the
makes-
costs.
and that was ranging again from what to, like, I saw $8,000 to $10,000. Does that
Correct.
include the inspection fees with the DOT?
The initial inspection is included during the construction. After that, it would be on us, but that is estimated to be included in that area. That's the
And-
8 to 10.
And then every 4 years, there's another inspection, you
Correct.
said?
Correct.
Okay.
The maintenance is obviously gonna be variable. Snow plowing is required under here. If you get a year with no snow, the maintenance is gonna be far less than it is in years that they gotta go out there 12 times and plow it.
So once it's in, they assume there's always going to be activity year-round, so we have to maintain it year-round, is what
Correct.
it's turning out to be. Okay. Yeah. Just so it's on the record and people can hear that, because I had had some information given to me that there's a number of people. They've been working through this process for a long time, but there's a number of people in this community that are strongly vocal against it. And just so we have all those facts out there, people need to be aware of the financial, to the town. So, and we also we're putting in, the rest of Apache, which could have been done under the Bill grant because the engineering was already done, but the DOT would have done the rest of it all the way to Z, but because of the road and the bike lane and the culvert, I think we're looking at what, 400 or 600,000 for that. So that's the other piece of it that'll get done this year, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And the other question that had come up was the lighting for the bike path. And we would have to light the tunnel, but we do not need to light the rest of the path. We'd be responsible to maintain the lighting as well.
Who pays for the lighting that goes in? Is that under the agreement then with, okay. So, but we maintain, so if the bulbs burn down or a pole gets wiped out by a car or something like that, we're
Correct.
responsible?
Correct.
There aren't any poles.
Oh, okay.
Just interior lighting.
Just the interior? Okay.
If a car takes off the lights in the tunnel, we have a problem.
Well, we have some drivers like that, so you never know. Somebody runs into one of those ballards, that's gonna be out there keeping them out.
It may be worth mentioning, there is a graffiti-proof coating being put inside the tunnel, so removal of graffiti would be hopefully easy if it happened.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the Wisconsin DOT memorandum of agreement for the proposed multi-use bike path along State Highway 13.
I'll second.
A second.
Oh, we already had one, Jackie, but you
Okay.
guys wanna toss for it, but, all right, so there's a motion by Supervisor Gabriel, second by Supervisor Evenson for the approval of the Wisconsin DOT memorandum of agreement for the proposed multi-use path system along State Highway 13, Link the Lakes project. Is there any more discussion or questions? I'm going to take a roll call vote, starting on my right, please.
Gabriel, yes.
Jumati, no.
Minter, yes.
Evenson, yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Any opposed? Nope. All right, so you've got it. Discussion and possible action, review and approval of the project plat and relocation order for the Link the Lakes project. Lexi, do you want to address the plat?
Yes, so, I have received a new plat design for you guys, because that will be including the utilities. But I guess I will read off what I have here, because this is gonna be kind of chunked in two parts. 17 and 18 go hand in hand. So for 17, it would be the approval of the plat and the relocation order. So the plat specifies where each easement is, and if the easement type is temporary or permanent. This is why you all received the updated plan to describe those utility easements, because those are also described within that. And then the plat shows what was approved at Plan Commission during the November 12th, 2024 meeting. So there's been virtually no changes made to it other than the addition of utility. And then something else to kind of note is any utility easement that is received does not have to go through town board. That's just going to be handled separately. And then the relocation order goes with the plat, and it shows that easements, the easements that will be filed with the county. So the plat and relocation order will get filed at the same time, and then the recording of these documents will begin Visit Rome's ability to negotiate on the parcels. So that would mean once those get recorded, Visit Rome will be able to go to the individual owners who have easements and start the process of if they're donating land or if they will need payment for it. But that will be done using reports supplemented with a nominal payment parcel report, which I will get more in depth on in the next point.
Anybody need to see the larger pictures? They're right here. Any questions? Well, here, do we have a motion, or what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the project plot relocation orders for Link to Lakes project.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Supervisor Gabriel, second by Supervisor Cole, to approve the project plat and relocation order for the Link to Lakes project. Roll call starting on my right.
Gabriel, yes.
Jumati, no.
Minter, yes.
Stevenson, yes.
Oh, yes.
Motion passes. 18, discussion and possible action, review and approval of the Link to Lakes easement acquisition documents, including a letter of commitment from Visit Rome, Wisconsin to compensate for easement acquisition and document preparation.
Okay, so the main thing that you guys will need to approve tonight for this is the nominal payment parcel reports. So there's one big one that goes over all the parcels, and then in each one of those separate little packets for the parcels, they have their own. But then the NPPR, so I'm going to call it for my own sake, documents, they take what is in the temporary limited easement worksheet document and the comparable sales report, and they summarize it, the land pricing and easement values. So it takes what the land's worth, what the easement's worth, and gives you guys the value. So the purpose of the NPPR is for us to approve the offer amounts for each parcel. This is a formality for the town board, since a Visit Rome is paying for any parcels that are not donated. And in the event that a property owner decides not to donate, or decides to not donate the parcel and tries to negotiate the amount of money greater for what the NPPR states, that they will have to come back here for additional town approvals. And then as for all the easement paperwork, there's a lot of them happening here. There's actually two sets of paperwork going on there. There is one set for if property owner decides they are donating the land, so that is everything from the W-9 and above. And then, that's W-9 and below. And then if they are seeking compensation, that's W-9 and above. And then the easement documents are not able to get signed tonight because they would need to do negotiations first. So that's why the NPPR would be the main thing. However, you could still approve the easements as written, assuming that they would follow the NPPR if they were to receive compensation. But as of right now, you can't sign the easements because you don't know if they're going to ask for compensation or not.
I don't know if I can say anything.
Well, of course. Please come up, Lisa. This is Lisa from Visit Rome. Mary, if you want to join her.
Oh, it'll just take a minute. So all three of the landowners that we needed an easement from are donating the land. So just wanted to make that comment. There won't likely be any negotiation. So
I'll make a motion to approve the Link to Lakes easement acquisition documents, including letters of commitment from Visit Rome, Wisconsin Incorporated, to compensate for easement acquisition and document preparation.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Gabriel, second by Supervisor Cole for the approval of the Link to Lakes easement acquisition documents, including a letter of commitment from Visit Rome to compensate for easement acquisition and document preparation. Any discussion? I have a question. If there was a document here I read, and now I should have put a sticky note on there, but there was a place in here, it was one of these last pages, where it stated that if anything should happen to this tunnel, in the case of should the DOT come back and want to put in a turn lane or a passing lane, or if something happens to it and it's damaged, that the town is responsible for replacing the tunnel. That was required by the DOT. Was that, now I can't find it, and does anybody recall, Lexi, do you recall what document that was in, or can you spell that out? That would be something to the town, that the town is responsible if anything happens, or the DOT wants to do something different to Highway 13, the town would be paying for that. Anybody that's able to answer it, because I can't find it. Because it was like,
That was in the document with Wisconsin DOT, the first item that you took up. It
okay.
basically says if the tunnel's abandoned or whatever, the town has to return the land to how it was before the tunnel was there.
but also if it said something about if a lane or so, where was that? A lane,
It just says if they would have to redo, if they made a 4-lane road for whatever reason, you'd either have to extend the tunnel, or the town would be responsible for the expenses. DOT's not gonna cover it if they reconfigure the road.
So they can reconfigure the road, but we'd be the ones that would have to pay for that.
If we wanted the tunnel to remain, or we would be
Okay.
responsible to take it out at that point.
Thank you very much. I honestly couldn't, with all those papers, I couldn't find it. All right. Any other questions or comments? Roll call starting on my right, please.
Gabriel, yes.
Jumati, no.
Minter, yes.
Evenson, yes.
Okay, motion carried. Oh, Cole, thank you. Motion carries. Okay, number 19, approval of loan agreement in connection with the $500,000 loan from the town of Rome to Visit Rome, Wisconsin, Inc. Robbie, you're up.
So in our December meeting, you approved the $500,000 loan with Nuku Support Edward State Bank. You had requested a loan agreement similar to what we've had in the past when we've borrowed for others. In the packet, you have an agreement that was drafted by Quarles, reviewed by the previous town attorney, that laid out the borrowing of the $500,000 and how it would be paid back with the tourism money.
And you've reviewed, staff has reviewed all of
Staff
those
has,
documents?
the attorney has, yep.
The new attorney?
The new attorney has also
So
reviewed
he'll be
this.
signing that document
He
then?
would be the one signing it, yes.
Okay, just so everybody's
And the
clear.
loan documents, once we close on the loan.
And that includes that one page?
That
where-
aggravate,
Okay,
that one, yep.
thank you. I can't remember
I
the
can never
name.
remember the term.
I know. Arbitrage.
Arbitrage, thank you.
That's it. All right. Any comments or questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the loan agreement in connection with the $500 loan from the town of Rome to Visit Rome, Wisconsin Incorporated.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Supervisor Gabriel, second by Supervisor Minter, for approving the loan agreement in connection with $500,000 loan from the town of Rome to Visit Rome, Wisconsin. Discussion or questions? I just have a comment on this one, the way this is worded. It says loan from the town of Rome to Visit Rome, and it just simply means that we're signing on the dotted line so they can take out the loan. The town is not loaning them the money, they're, so just so everybody's clear with that. Okay, any more questions or comments? Roll call starting on my right.
Gabriel, yes.
Jumati, no.
Minter, yes.
Evenson, yes.
Okay, motion, oh, Jackie? Thank you. Motion carries. All right. Approval, all right, number 20, discussion and possible action, approval of the updated policy for the broadcast of meetings and events on Channel 300 and YouTube. Jason?
This is, we have a current policy in our manual. I updated the meetings to include all of the current town meetings. The only one that's not on there that would be a board decision is Zoning Board of Appeals. I also added Tri-Lakes Management. That has been requested before, and the candidate forums have been aired in the past, even though they weren't allowed under the policy that was signed back in 2021. I added the word YouTube as well, so that it's consistent. It goes on 300, and they will be uploaded to YouTube. We didn't really have any policy on YouTube before the former administrator started uploading videos in '23. We had done some back in 2017, and then there was a long gap where it had stopped. It basically started January 1st of '23 with the uploads again, so this just sets it in policy that they'll be aired and uploaded.
Is Channel 300 just off the air? Or is that off a cable, or what's that?
It's on Solaris, it's channel 300 cable.
So if you don't
and
have
then it's-
Solaris,
Well, it's also on the
you just
website.
get, you just get YouTube, but
It's
It's
on
on
the
the
website.
website.
yeah,
And then
live, yeah.
Well, that's Solaris if you want to pay for a completely different
Yeah,
system
and
to
then
have
YouTube
it, but,
uploads to watch later.
Okay.
and it does take quite a bit of time. Those can't be loaded the same night as a meeting. They have to go overnight
They
because they
do.
can take up to 3 hours to get those to upload.
I watch them on YouTube, it's just, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
It's because I don't have Solaris, I guess, is that I didn't know about where Channel 300 was at.
They re-air on the website too. If
Okay.
you go to the live feed,
Yep.
the
They'll
board
re-air.
meetings play at like 9 and 5. There's a whole schedule
okay.
of when they play for a
Cool.
week after they air.
Excellent, thank you.
I have a question and a comment about Board of Review. Those have never been aired before. There's nothing to hide. but they are a judicial type, quasi-judicial type proceeding where there is, people are sworn in, testimony is given at those meetings, and decisions are made based on
That was in and out, and in the name of transparency, I put it back in because it was in a policy back in 17, it was taken out.
it was never done.
And it wasn't on our current one, I put it back.
Does this also
Back
include
in.
Board of Appeals, so people
That's what
can
I-
see if there's
I missed that one.
persuasion or any type of?
I missed that one could be added.
All right, I think we need to add Board of Appeals then as well, so
I agree.
it's fully transparent. And just so you know, when there is testimony, some of those Board of Review type meetings that has to do with assessments, there was a 2-day one, there's been as many as 4 or 5 hours of testimony on certain people, depending on if they present evidence that needs to be considered, so we should do it across the board then.
I will add that one in and.
Board of Appeals,
Consider it
yes.
approved with that added in your approval.
And again, I just want to remind people that those proceedings, people are sworn in, so they have to follow a certain code of ethics to make those decisions, and there's sworn testimony given, so, and then a vote is taken.
I'll make a motion to approve the updated policy for the broadcast of meetings and events of Channel 300 and YouTube with the addition of adding Board of Appeals.
And Board of Review, right?
Board of Review's already, he's
That's
got
on
it
there.
back in
Okay,
there.
okay,
I missed the zoning board of appeals when I did it.
okay. I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion by Supervisor Evenson, a second by Supervisor Gabriel to approve the updated policy for the broadcast of meetings and events on Channel 300 and YouTube, which also includes, so now we're going to do Tri-Lakes as well. So that adds staff time, I guess, all right. All I would ask is that they do, twice we've been in here for meetings, and our TV's been adjusted. I think we'll need to post a sign because the cords are hanging, the buttons are changed, the direction, and we've got to be careful with the equipment. It's newer, and so I would just appreciate if people would respect town property. All right, any other comments or discussion?
Just a general question / comment. So they'll be recorded and then they're live on, or they're on Channel 300. Are you then going to automatically just whatever files are created just be uploaded to YouTube? And then is there a link on our website to our YouTube site?
There is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is, it's right on the side. And then I would also add that meetings started on YouTube again in 2023. There was nothing from like 2017 or after, so they started in 2023. But, okay, any more discussion or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action, refund of fees to Donna Hasdell for open records request.
I can speak to this. Mrs. Hosdell brought it to our attention that the town cannot make a profit on open records requests. We did that based on our fee schedule and advice from another individual. And so based on the state statute regarding this, I'm recommending that we refund $80.75 to Mrs. Hostel.
Okay, I have a number of comments on this one too, so I'm going to go first. First of all, just for everybody's education, and not to insult anyone, but FOIA means Freedom of Information Act. So when somebody makes a request, we're not the federal government, it's just an open records request. So if we could clarify that for people that want to use the federal guidelines and put that on the town. I will also say that I have made copies, have gotten copies of permits, and paid 50 cents. So one person's getting a refund because they asked for it. Thirdly, I don't know that we were ever making money on those copies. I know that there's certain stipulations within the statute that says there's things you can't specifically charge for. And this had been checked out once before, which is a little different than the federal Freedom of Information Act open records. But I just wanted to make those notations because it is a little bit different, and I don't know that we've ever really made a profit on it. You can't charge for staff time. There's like I said, other certain stipulations, but I wanted to bring those comments forward. And we have had numerous open records requests within the last several several months that require a lot of staff time.
I have a comment, if I may.
Yes,
I had asked Administrator Lowry if, when a Freedom of Information Act request is made, if staff keeps any type of log of how much time they do actually spend compiling the information and returning the information to the requester on it. I know it's not required, but I think it would be interesting information to have, because these are, as Chairman Giamatti mentioned, take staff away from their day-to-day duties, often very time-consuming. So I think it might be just an administrative interest to keep track of just how much time is spent when someone does file a Freedom of Information Act request. Not that it be published, but I think it would be good in-house information.
right. Thank you, Supervisor Cole, because it is quite disruptive, and if it's used for the wrong reasons, it takes a lot of time, especially during tax season and voter season. So thank you. And again, there's stipulations that says you can't make money on it, and you have to be careful what time you actually do charge. So I think we were doing it, and that rate was discussed at one time when we've approved it in the past, that it cover our costs and nothing more. So with those comments made, does anybody have a motion?
I'll make a motion to refund to Donna Hasdale for open rec requests for the amount of $80.75 recommended to us by our clerk.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Gabriel, second by Supervisor Evenson, to refund fees of $80.75 to Donna Hasdale for open records requests. Any more discussion?
I have a question. Does this open the door for anyone who's had a previous Freedom of Information Act request and been charged the standard fees to come back and ask for a refund?
Yes, it does. And there are some of us, like I paid for my building permit copies.
That's different. Those are different copies. That's not considered an open records.
True, but it was still 50 cents a page, so I mean, it's labor intensive, but it's a
The
different
next
process.
agenda will have a fee schedule. Part of the problem is confusion. It says page, so it's meant a 50 cent for a double-sided page. Both sides are covered. 25 cents if you only have it on one side. If you charge 50 cents for a one-sided thing, you're over what they say that you can charge for an open record.
So did we charge her 50 cents a side for two sides? So let's make that
correct.
clarification then. We charged her versus 50 cents a page, we charged her 50 cents a side. And that's why this refund,
It'll be made clear
On
on the
our-
next agenda.
excellent.
Excellent.
All right, good clarification. Thank you, everyone. All right, did I call this, we had a motion and a second already, right? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oh, sorry, Jackie. Sorry.
Correct.
Motion carries. All right. Dates and items for future agenda and meetings. Next agenda items. Well, we'll bring back the fee schedule with corrected language to make it clear for everyone. And I do think the idea of keeping an in-house log, so the amount of time, should it continue to happen, or I think it's very helpful that we have a record of staff involvement and what it takes to pull all those records.
I don't think we're looking for the minutes, just a good, within 15 minutes. I mean, we can't have these ladies punching in and out every time they.
Whatever they think is best, however
Yeah,
they want to
just
log it, however they
pretty-
want to log it. I mean, when you're looking for every invoice and contract that you had back to 2021, that's a lot of time and paper and effort to pull those files, so
But
let them come
It
up.
still isn't going to change what you charge them, so it's just one more step you're taking. It's just for information only. It isn't going to change.
Nope, it's
the
not
fee
going to
schedule?
change anything,
No.
but it does give you an indication of what it, the time it takes. Leave it up to them, how they want to do it.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have the corp back. With
Yep,
all those
okay,
final
corp.
changes. We'll also have, and I'll get it to the staff, the Park and Recs had a discussion on the
Oh, your
pets
sign.
in the park.
Oh, the pets in the
Pets
park.
in
I
the
was gonna
park.
ask you, okay, pets in the park. Because I just saw one walking their dog there today doing his duties, so, or her
Right,
duty.
but by the time we had our
But-
meeting on Monday, it was too late to get
Yeah.
them the information to get on this time's agenda. So pets in the park will be on next time's agenda.
And then we also need, your sign.
Well, we haven't gotten the pricing on the sign yet.
Oh, I thought it was ready. It was just, oh,
The
okay.
Walden Park sign you're talking.
No, the one for the band shell.
Oh, yeah.
You sent that forward, but we didn't make it in time for the packet.
Okay. Yeah,
The band shell sign.
Band shell sign.
We'll have that on the next agenda.
Walden Park sign will be at a future,
That's down the road.
Got it.
when we get the prices on it.
All right. Any other things, or we'll kind of, and Lexi, just so you know, I wasn't complaining about what you charged me for building permits. I know that's different. I know I had to pay it, so you didn't do anything wrong. You have that look on your face. The copies for building. All right. Anything else? All right. Next meeting date and time is?
March 6th.
6th, I will not be here, just so you know.
Okay. And then also one other agenda item, on March 20th, there will be a school representative here, likely Lynn Knight, their business manager. She wants to address us. She was going to come on the 6th, but she can't. She'll be here on the 20th. And that's to address us and offer us the opportunity to ask any questions on the referendum that's going to be on the April ballot. The school is in need of more additional funding. So she's going to give a presentation. So get your questions answered and come on in and find out what the need is, and she'll be here on the 20th. So if we can just mark, you, I sent that to you to just, all right, so motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Meeting adjourned at 6:03 PM.